Hey guys, Graz here from Life Pro Gaming. In today's video, I want to go over why myself, a hardcore PS5, well, not just PS5, but just a PlayStation fan throughout, has decided to buy the Xbox Series and why I made the jump from PlayStation to Xbox. Now, don't get me wrong, before I start this video, I want you guys to really understand that I'm a PlayStation fanboy. I mean, I got the PlayStation VR. I have the PlayStation 5. Obviously, you guys see Astrobot being displayed on my screen. I got the PS4 Pro as well. I have one in my basement, and I got one on the main floor. So I'm a hardcore PlayStation fan. This is the first time that I actually jump into the Microsoft ecosystem. And I want to give you guys the reasons why I decided to also join Microsoft in this console generation. So I don't know where you guys are from, but point number one for me is in Canada, the price of the Xbox versus the price of the PlayStation is actually there's a $30 difference. So in Canada, the Xbox sells, well, the Xbox Series X sells for $629 versus the PlayStation, which is, like I said, $629 versus the Xbox Series X sells for $599. So there's about a $30 difference between both consoles. I found that really strange that Sony out here in Canada did not match the price like they did in the US. As you guys know, they're selling for $499 out of the States. But out in Canada, there's a $30 price discrepancy. I found that really, really strange. Another reason why I bought an Xbox Series X is I really like the form factor, to be honest. I found it to be a little bit easier to install. If you guys take a look right now, you don't really see the PlayStation 5. Why? Because it's hidden behind this console. I didn't really have a piece of furniture, a proper piece of furniture to install the system. So the form factor was actually really nice. I was very impressed with the Xbox Series X and what they were able to do in terms of form factor. Another reason why also I decided to jump on the Xbox bandwagon is the power difference. So there's an 18% power difference between both consoles. As you guys know, the Xbox Series X boasts 12.147 teraflops versus the 10.275 teraflops of the PS5. Like, I know what you're going to tell me. It's not a huge difference. I mean, it's about 2 teraflop difference. It's equivalent to a little bit more than a PS4. So imagine having your PlayStation 5 with a PS4 next to it to add that extra power. I mean, it's not nothing. It is 18%. I have to fully agree though, until I see games and I'm able to see that there's actual difference, yeah, it doesn't really mean much. But for now, I mean, Xbox is still winning on the power side. We'll see as the games start to come out. If it really makes a difference, but no matter what, it is a more powerful console. Another point about Xbox is they have a bigger hard drive. Another thing I don't understand why Sony just didn't come out with a 1 terabyte hard drive just like the Xbox Series X. So the Xbox Series X has a 1 terabyte. Yes, it's only 175 gigs, but guess what? 175 gigs makes the difference between 1 or 2 games to be installed on your hard drive. And as you guys know, SSD space is very expensive. I know it's not huge, but still it's something to compare, right? So we got more power, we got a bigger SSD, which is still pretty interesting. So another thing Xbox is doing differently than Sony that I really like is 1440p compatibility. There are tons of people out there that are still have 1440p monitors, right? So gaming monitors. This is such a basic thing. And I'm sure Sony with time will update this. There will be a firmware that's going to come out that's going to make the PlayStation capable, the PS5 capable to also output 1440p. I thought that would have been a no-brainer. Ninth generation console, no 1440p capabilities. So when you're running it, what is it doing? Taking 1080p and just giving it an upscale? So Sony, if you're listening to this, you guys got to fix that. We want 1440p capabilities. So another point I'm going to bring up is it's been confirmed. Xbox is the only one that has full RDNA capabilities, right? So obviously from AMD, so they got the full RDNA 2 capabilities, and these are things like variable rate shading, DirectX ray tracing, mesh shaders, and sampler feedback. So these are things that are confirmed. The Xbox Series X is the only system in this console generation that's going to be using the full capabilities of AMD's new RDNA 2 GPU. Now, I have yet to see Sony, like, I've been trying to find and searching on the internet. I have yet to find information showing that the information on Sony side is also not full RDNA 2. I don't know if they're using RDNA 1.5 and then they're just making like slight modifications to the GPU, or are they using their own version of an RDNA 2, or are they using a version in between RDNA 2 and RDNA 3? Maybe something a little bit higher. But as of things right now, it looks like Xbox is taking the lead here. So again, you have to consider, guys, that a console generation lasts at least 6 to 7 years. So you want to make sure that you have a console that's going to be there for the long run. I'm going to be a little bit upset and a little bit pissed if in 3 years from now, there's a PS4 Pro that comes out with just slight, I can't say PS4 Pro, PS5 Pro that comes out with just slight capabilities when we just forked out $629. I'm almost hoping that console generations stop doing these Pro upgrades because it's a lot of money to be spending. For me, it's like you guys have 7 years to develop a console. Make the console and make sure that the technology inside is capable enough to last the 7 years instead of making these these Pro upgrades with time. So that's another point. Another reason. So for myself, never having owned a game, right, on Xbox, Microsoft Game Pass is amazing. There is so much selection. And I don't know about you guys, but out in Canada, it's like $17 a month, $17 or $18 a month. That's nothing. And I mean, you have access to EA Pass, you have access to Game Pass. There are hundreds of games. And as you guys know, Xbox just bought out Bethesda. So there's a bunch of games that I wanted to buy because I obviously have a backlog. We're all backlogged on our games. So I got tons of backlog games that I have that I want to be able to play. And now with, Microsoft Game Pass coming out, the selection is just amazing. Yes, it's not next gen. There's still a lot of it that's pre-gen, but there's a lot of games that have been like freshened up, better resolutions, better frame rates, right? So I'm really, really looking forward to jumping into the ecosystem, playing those games again at like $17, $18 a month with unlimited over 100 games to play. That's pretty amazing. And maybe the last reason why I jumped as well into the Xbox ecosystem is that Microsoft is the underdog this generation. So I think they have a lot to prove. I think that being the underdog, they're going to try to outperform. They're going to try to push themselves to the limit. Phil Spencer so far has done a fantastic job. He's listening to what the gamers want. All these factors put together, it makes a lot of factors. So again, I jumped on the PS5 bandwagon. I mean, I have one. But I also jumped on the Xbox Series X bandwagon because there's just so many appealing points. Now, I'm going to give it to Sony. There's things that you can't touch, and I'll do this at a later video. This controller is amazing. Like, the DualShock controller is fantastic. It is amazing. So I got to give them to this. I got to give the first-party games to Sony. I mean, their first-party library is ridiculous. There is so much to play. And the games are great. They're all fantastic. So I have to give them that as well. There are things that Sony does that are just amazing. The interface, to be honest, I prefer the interface on the PlayStation 5 than the Xbox. I find the Xbox a little bit dated. The interface definitely 100% on the PS5. is a lot better. So there's still a lot of things that, I love this system. I'm still going to be a hardcore PS5 fan. But I thought it'd be interesting that I make a video showing a perspective of somebody who's had PlayStation his entire life, who has never bought an Xbox product, and who is now converted. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what else Xbox has. So I'm looking forward, guys, to this console generation. Like, subscribe, and leave some comments about the video, guys. And I am looking forward to doing a couple more videos. Have yourself a great night, and cheers.